Welcome, thanks a lot for hitting on the playlist. In this playlist, guys, we're going to be taking you through everything you need to know to get yourself started on SoRare so you can actually start acquiring cards, being competitive in tournaments, doing trades, making profit, trading Ethereum. We're going to be covering all of that stuff, okay? If at any point you do enjoy the content, I would appreciate you smashing that like button for me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then by all means, please do. It means a lot to me. And if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, or anything, just drop them in the comment section. I get back to everyone who comments on the videos as best I possibly can anyway. It's very rare I've never got back to a comment. In the description of each video, you'll have the links so you can get all the free stuff that you can get your hands on to actually get started with SoRare, whether it be your Coinbase account to get yourself some free coin, or whether it be the account itself to get your free starter 10 commons and your bonus rare when you join. If you have any, as I say, any comments, questions, thoughts, anything at all, guys, just drop them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoy the content. It is for you, and let's get stuck into it. So I'll link this article in the description below, guys, but we're going to go through the new scoring system that we're going to be operating on for all the fantasy football tournaments we have on SoRare. Now, hats off to these guys. They changed the scoring. I won't go into the background of where we've been and where we've came from, but the scoring metric when I first joined was basically start at 0 and everything you do earns you points, and kind of similar to any other kind of fantasy football, you know, if that makes sense. But it wasn't too favourable to your kind of standard players, you know, your guys that will start, you know, 30 games out of 38, and they're not maybe star names, they're not going to be match winners, that kind of thing. So they tried to revamp it. They upped their data coverage with Opta from 18 stats to 65 or something like that. And the main problem we've got with the one now is it is a little bit too volatile, you know. So somebody can go and score like 80 or something like that, but then you can have somebody that might score 10 or something, you know. So they've tried to keep it, in the first iteration, they tried to keep a kind of rough average base score of about 40. As you'll see with this as we go into it, they're aiming for the average score to be about 50, you know, and we'll touch on honestly, it's potentially genius, you know, the way they've done this, because any sort of fantasy football that you've been involved in your life, there's always areas of the scoring where you'll be unsatisfied, where, like, for example, like standard fantasy football, you know, your kind of ball playing, you know, your Fabinhos and your Kantes and these kind of guys are never really that favourable in that kind of scoring metric, because it's all about goal scorers and clean sheets and that kind of thing. And those kind of midfielders do lose a lot of value on a lot of those kind of outlets. So with this, it's trying to tick all the boxes in the sense that your average players, you know, your solid little centre back or your left back that's okay, doesn't maybe get up and down the pitch, or your ball winning CM, that they actually score credibly towards their actual in-game contribution. You know, because without all these players, a team can't win, as you know. You know, you need the match winners, you need the Depays, you need the Ronaldos and all these kind of guys, but you need those box to box guys, those water carriers, and it looks like they're going to be scored really, really well. So you can pause this and read it at your own leisure. I'm just going to be getting into the actual metrics on the matrix and trying to explain to you as best I can exactly how it's going to work. Now, these are the two main things you need to take away from this, okay? The score is built up by two sub-scores. The decisive score, I beg your pardon, and an all-round score. Okay, so the all-round score is based on normal stats, and we'll come to the table and we'll walk through it. And the decisive score is based on the big stuff, you know, red cards, goals, penalty saves, goals, big errors, last man tackles, you know, the things that make a difference to a match. And then your all-round score is passes completed, tackles won, possession kept, and again we'll go through all the individual stats itself. And then they then amalgamate. They then don't know why my tongue got twisted up there. Amalgamate both those scores and give us a combined score. So we've got some examples here, right? Hans Vankinen and John Lushimi. Okay, so as you can see, Hans's decisive score, tongue is all over the place today, was 60, okay, for his one goal, and we'll see how that's broken up, okay? The all-round score for him was 23, and what I really like about this is that they've broke all the categories down: general, defending, possession, passing and attacking, and then they've managed to come up with like a out of 5-star system. Now, and as you can see, there'll be a wee tab so you can hit all stats and you'll be able to see exactly he made 42 passes, 3 shots on target, 2 through balls, all that kind of stuff. But what I really like about that is it gives you the kind of snapshot that you would get on an old Football Manager or even like FIFA Ultimate Team, where you get like headline kind of stats. So especially when you're brand new and you're kind of scouring the market, you'll be able to see quite quickly, like somebody like John Lucimi is quite a well-known centre-back in the SoRare circles. He's young, he's Colombian, he's in Europe, he's quite strong. So when you look at John's score on this match day, you'll see, right, well, he's a 5-star defender with 5-star passing, you know, so that sets you a kind of benchmark in terms of output that you're likely to get from somebody like him, and attach a value to that when you're in the market as well, you know, because you know, right, well, out the last 10 games, this guy's been 5 stars for passing and 5 stars for defending. That means getting a score of around the 70 mark, as long as he's not getting red carded or whatever, could be profitable, blah blah blah. Okay, so when they've done the testing, they've actually all sat and watched a match and done the scores themselves, which I love, and I'm really glad they went to that extra effort to live test it themselves and then backdate it against old scores and make sure it all pans out. Like I said in other videos, you know, this is a game and it's ran by Ubisoft technology, you know, in essence, you know, from the Ubisoft labs. You know, so you want computer game people to make computer game things, and I think that's where other platforms have kind of fell down. That they have been like wet behind the ears in a lot of sense, and hats off to them for all the efforts and progress that each and everything has made over the years, you know. But you know, I really like the model and the idea so far. To fully understand the scores of these players, we encourage you to watch the highlights of the game here, so you can go and do that for yourself. You'll better understand why Vukovic scores better than Mignolet during the game, and for those who watched the whole game, you'll understand why Sobel is the best scorer thanks to his in-game impact. It's also reflected in the who scored game statistics of the game. So even though it's an Opta ran, you know, we're pulling all the stats from Opta, whoscored.com, they might be supplied by Opta as well. They might capture their own data, I don't really know, to be honest. But again, it's reflected in a third-party scoring app. So you might rely on Who Scored, you might rely on SofaScore or FootMob or these types of things. And it's this is a kind of little nod to whatever you use to gauge and to scout players. It does translate onto SoRare, that if you see somebody on Who Scored who's got good game statistics, it will translate onto this scoring matrix accurately. Because I've done it before, and you've probably done it yourself, where you're on Football Index or Footstock or whatever, and you find a player and you think, wow, his stats look really good, and then you go and check their PB stats or their PPG, and it doesn't quite marry up with what you'd expected, and then you maybe buy something thinking that, oh well, that stat isn't really reflective of the last 5 to 10 games. I think they're going to turn it around, and then they don't, because of the way the scoring matrices on different platforms can be constructed. So this is a decisive score. Okay, now this is the one that is going to really be pulling you in points and is really going to be winning you prizes. Okay, so a positive impact is listed there: goal, assist, penalty won, clearance off the line, clean sheet for goalkeepers, penalty save, last man tackle. Negative impacts: red card, OG, penalty conceded, error to goal, concede 3 or more if it's a goalkeeper, if they get absolutely leathered. Okay, which is, I think, fair, you know. A decisive score, and it kind of explains it to you here, right? So it's on levels. Okay, so everyone starts at level 0. Okay, if they start the match, they get 35 points at level 0, and if they're a sub, they get 25 points at level 0. And then for each of those contributions that we just seen up here, that moves you up a level or down a level depending on whether it's a positive or a negative impact. And the example 1 we've got at the bottom of the page there, you'll see, so player scores 2 goals and gives 1 assist, so that would take you to level 3, 80 points, which is guaranteed. But they also received a red card, so that puts them back a step. They go to level 2, they get 70 points on their decisive score. Pretty straightforward, you know. And again, even if you're just to watch the match, and if it is a goal scorer you've got, so like a Ronaldo or a Depay or something like that, the decisive score is probably going to make up a bulk of their overall score if they are scoring goals, making assists, and that kind of thing. So when you see that, you know, Depay scored a hat-trick and made an assist, and he's not been sent off, he's not had an error leading to goal or anything like that, and you know he's at level 4, he's at 90 points before he makes any successful passes or crosses or keeps possession around those basic stats. So then you're watching the game, you're rubbing your hands, you know, fucking hell, Depay's on for a 90 score. You know, so again, and it's a lovely mechanism in that sense that you can watch the football and you can really know without fucking pass counting and all that kind of stuff that your player is scoring appropriately. Example 2 is a negative one. Player concedes a penalty and receives a red card. So they start on level 0 and they do 2 negative things, but they only go to -1. That's as low as it goes, okay? And -1 gets you a point score of 15, okay, regardless whether you're a starter or a sub, okay? and that's your decisive score. So the minimum it can be is 15 points, okay, and that's if you're absolutely awful. The all-round score is what's built up of all the in-game kind of stats, okay, and it's broken in. Now, you can zoom into this. Say the link for this blog will be in the description below, and you can zoom into it and check it out as much as you want. I've actually downloaded the picture for the video because I think the quality of the zoom, once you've downloaded the picture, is a little bit better. Okay, so you can see at the top we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 general categories. Errors led to shot, fouled, was fouled, you've been fouled, and yellow card. And then again you've got point scores. Red in brackets are negative points, of course, and then green scores are positive ones. You then get defending. So in terms of defending, we're looking at clean sheets, goals conceded, effective clearance, I like that, one tackle, block, cross, block, double, triple, and triple. Oh, okay, cool. So we're still kind of leaning on the old metric on any of these things, okay? So the way the double and the triple and the triple work is basically it's stacking up on effective play, you know. So if you have an effective clearance, let's say you do that twice, you get 1 point. Let's say you then get 2 blocked crosses, that's a double. You've got 2 doubles, okay? So you then get the additional points for that. If you get a triple, so we've got 2 stats on a double there now. Let's say 1 tackle, you get 2 of those as well. That's a triple, so you get a bonus point for that. So your players made 2 successful tackles, 2 effective clearances, and 2 block crosses. You know, they're stopping the opposition getting in the box, and there's big bonus points and rewards for achieving that. When it comes to possession, sorry, 2 seconds. When it comes to possession, again, we've got the same kind of breakdown of metrics, you know. So we've got possession lost, possession won, duel lost, duel won, interception. Passing, we've got big chance created, and again that's right across the board for everyone, goalkeepers included. Attempted assists, so your big passing goalkeepers are going to be getting some good points here, which is lovely. Accurate passing, third ball, accurate long balls, accurate own to opposition pass, miss pass, big chances. So again, you can see them all there. They're all lovely stats we're all familiar with. Big chance miss, big chance created, penalty wins, and then for the goalkeepers you can see clearances not claimed, diving catch, diving save, punches, good high claim. There's all some good points there, and you can see the scores in them all. They're all 0.5, 1, 2, this kind of thing. I am so before the triple and the double and whatever, in the first iteration of this was across all metrics, but the fact that they're kind of labelled there as defending does make me stop and pause. But I do believe that is a metric that runs across all the fields that we have, because that was the way it was built in the first instance, okay? So we dive back to the blog post. So that's what's going to make up your all-round score. Sorry, just get myself back out there. That's what's going to make up your all-round score. So when you've seen in these, so I'll come to this in a second. So when you've seen in these little examples, the all-round score for Hans Vanaken was plus 23, and for John Lucimi it was plus 35. That was made up of all those stats and the triple doubles and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then the decisive score goes on top of that. So for John Lucimi we've got 35 and 35. He gets a score of 70.2. Lovely. Okay. Now it just kind of breaks down here for you what's guaranteed and what's not guaranteed. Okay, so we'll just get back to that for you. So total score. The total score is the sum of the decisive score and the all-round score, just like I showed you in that wee example up the top. So guaranteed decisive score is the total score equals decisive score plus all-round score, or 0 if all-round scoring is negative. So 0 is the floor. So even if somebody has a rotten game, their all-round score will become 0, and the decisive score, the minimum that can be really, if they play, is 15, you know. So non-guaranteed decisive score is a decisive score plus all-round score. Okay, the total score is floored at 0 and capped at 100, so everything's between 0 and 100 makes it nice and clean and easy to gauge and weigh people up against other prospective purchases you might want to make or selections in your team. We strongly believe the scoring is now much easier to understand and will help us onboard a new wave of managers. Most importantly, scoring will resonate and give you a better experience when you're watching football. At SoRare, we aim to increase your live game experiences by playing fantasy football globally with skin in the game. We hope you'll like this latest iteration. So I've got a lot of faith, and I think it's going to be lovely. and it's very robust, and I think it really ticks all those boxes. So your kind of bog standard, I say, ball winning midfielders have got value, your match winners have got value, your goalkeepers, of course we all know goalkeepers have got value, but now we've got potential for high scoring goalkeepers, for ones that can play long balls and actually do the passing the modern day goalkeepers expected to do. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it, guys. I say the link to this will be in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.